Thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of the Conversation Podcast here at McCarthy's Comedy Theater. Today, I got to sit down with Mike McCarthy, one of our headliners here, and Cris Machado, an up-and-coming killer. And Drew Schlatter actually joined us for this podcast. He's one of our local hosts, and he's been working at McCarthy's for about 10 years now. And we had a lot of fun. We talked about a lot of different things, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks.
Welcome to the conversation.
Oh my God, we're here. McCarthy's Conversation. We're in the green room here. I got Drew Schlatter. He's one of our main hosts for the show this week. And we got Cris Machado. He's our feature.
Hello.
That's Chris.
Hi.
Drew.
We won't introduce ourselves.
No, just...
You guess by the voice.
We'll just talk. How you guys doing?
It's been a long week.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's right. Where do you work again?
I work at a golf course. I get up at 3:30 in the morning.
Jesus.
I did take a 2-hour nap today, though.
Yeah, so you're ready for tonight.
I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
Which golf course are you at?
I'm at Rocky Point. It's up in Tampa.
Nice. You know what I do instead of selling merch? I'm an
Gamble
online...
people.
What's that?
Gamble people playing golf?
Yeah. Well, I do that. DraftKings is actually really fun for that. But I do online golf professional advice.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've never played golf in my life. They have no idea. No, I'm just kidding.
I was about to say.
No, I used to be a teaching professional, so that like during the day I just like give people online lessons and sell clubs and stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's some good podcast
How
material.
does that work? Is this online?
Yeah, people will go onto the website and they'll fill out like a profile, and then they'll tell me what they want, and I
That's
give them
weird.
advice and stuff. Yeah, I'm a professional athlete, dude.
It looks like it. You do have the body type. I
Absolutely.
understand.
That's a visual joke.
You got a golfer body. Like you could pull
Absolutely. John Daly right here.
some John Daly in you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So because you grew up here, right? In
No,
Fort
I grew
Myers?
up in Boston.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm from Boston.
Oh, originally. Okay.
Yeah, so, you know, golf capital of the world. No.
Is that really? No, I was about to say.
No.
No.
Definitely not.
No, drunk capital of the world, maybe.
Trump in Boston?
Drunk.
Oh, I think I said Trump.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm drunk.
There you go.
Sorry, I'm very Trump right now.
Yeah. So you played golf. You're a good golfer.
I played
Yeah,
golf.
I don't play golf. I'm just a grass farmer.
Well, that's what I did. I was I would wake up really early. I'd do the mow the greens
Oh,
with
really?
the big mowers and stuff,
Yeah.
change the holes. But then at the end of the day, I would always go and play like 36 holes.
Yeah.
That's how I got good at it. But
Because they just let you on the course, right?
Well, you get to play
Yeah.
free there.
You get to
Most
play
places
free.
you
Most
play
places.
free. Yeah.
That sounds like a deal.
I have never paid to play a round of golf, ever.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, not one time. And I've been doing this since 1990. So
Wow.
yeah, and back then I had an 8 handicap. I got into the business because I got to play for free.
Right.
And then you get stuck, and all of a sudden I have nowhere
Right.
else to go. So here
Well,
I
it's
am.
like when you get your tonsils removed, and they're like, "You can have all the ice cream you want for free." You're like, "I don't want any fucking ice cream." you want to get off the course as soon as possible.
Now I want to go home every day. So
Exactly.
Man. And is that how you met Les?
no, odd story about Les. I'm also from Chattanooga, and
Oh yeah, that's right.
his cousin was my doctor up there. So when I moved to Sarasota, he wrote me a note to let me come into free to a show, and I never used it. And so then a few years later, when I finally did start coming in and doing what I was starting to do comedy, I told Les about it, and so that's how that happened. But,
Really? Yeah. How long ago did you do the comedy class?
oh, good Lord, 10 years?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I forgot that they've been.
I was
doing
already
that.
doing comedy at that point. I was already,
okay.
yeah. But I would go up to do the class. I would go up, and they were given 3 minutes of time. Back at the old club, you got to go in on Wednesdays and Thursdays and Sundays
Really?
and do 3 to 5 minutes. And they'd bring up 3 local comics to do, and it was open mic, but it was in front of a live audience.
Right.
And so I was getting 3 minutes, and I did it for about a year and a half. I was still getting 3 minutes, and guys were taking the class and were getting 5 minutes.
Right.
So I said, okay, I know what I got to do. I got to take this class just so I can get 5 minutes.
Get that extra 2 minutes.
And that class back then was a lot different. It was like 4 weeks two nights a week.
Oh, wow.
It was a really intense class. I had a booklet and everything.
Oh, wow.
And it's a lot different now than since.
Yeah, now it's like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's 2 weekends.
I'm huge on the classes though, not necessarily for what you learn, but just the fact that they literally make you do something that you're afraid to do. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Right.
The biggest thing you learn is to get up there and eat some dicks and just not do well.
Yeah.
And realize that it doesn't kill you. You know?
No,
what I
it
mean?
does. It actually makes you better.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it. But the irony is, I took the class and I called to get my time. They gave you 3 minutes. I was like, really? I
Again?
just took the class.
You failed the class.
And then, but I started coming in. I started coming in every Wednesday and Thursday and Sunday.
Right.
And when someone didn't show up, they would let me go up. And so I went in on a Wednesday and killed the audience. Thursday killed the audience. They brought me in on that Friday. I killed the audience.
Right.
And that's how they started hiring me.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Consistency. That's what they always look for here. Is
yeah,
And hanging out.
and that's
And
what
Being at the
you've
club
done
all
is
the time.
you've just consistently got on stage.
Yeah.
This is why you've gotten so good so quickly.
Yeah, I think so. Or just being in it.
I mean, you have natural talent. Don't get me wrong, but
Surrounded by it. Yeah, you just gotta be.
And you
Well-
have beautiful legs.
oh yeah, his boobs are amazing.
Yes. Not as good as mine though.
No,
I got
no.
those golfer boobs.
You got.
baby.
Well, no, we were talking about it last night. We were at the open mic after the show, and there was this kid sitting there, and he was like, you could tell he wanted to do it. Remember?
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
But we were laughing because he's thinking that he's gotta like have this perfect time to go up, like this like amazing
happen.
moment. Yeah, like you gotta perfect your set or something.
Well, that's what I did when I would just go watch
Yeah.
a bunch of open mics and
Right.
be like, all right,
do this.
and you think that you're doing no,
No.
just go
Just
suck
do it.
at
But-
comedy for
Yeah,
a long
just
time.
exactly.
Like that's all you have to
Do you remember when you thought an open mic was a show?
Yes.
Yes.
And I would email
Yeah.
them like a head like I before I started I think I emailed Les here.
Yeah.
And it was for the open mic. And I remember writing like I've never done comedy, but I've been on a play in high school and here's a picture of me doing that.
Here's my headshot.
It's like it's a fucking open mic, dude. It's like
an open mic. Yeah, I remember like that was like the big thing for me was that you just had to do it. It was that's another, to your point. The class really made you do that.
it makes you do it.
And one of the things I learned in this is like when you give yourself a deadline, like
Yeah.
things will get done. You'll force yourself to write. You'll force
Right.
yourself to prepare. So that was the big thing for me.
I think that's with everything.
with everything. Yeah.
Exercise, I've been told.
Exercise, yeah.
Yeah, just anything you want to do.
Doing
you
your
got a goal, you
taxes.
gotta. Yeah, I know. I need to do my
Wiping.
taxes. You know how hard it is to do taxes as a comedian? Holy shit.
Yeah.
I have like 800 1099s that I just completely ignored. And the IRS is going to listen to this right now and audit me instantly.
Audit you instantly. We don't trust
They'll
you.
take that $10.95 that you owe them.
Yep. I got
'Cause
1095.
Comedy paid shit.
I owe him 1095 and 8 mozzarella sticks right now.
Yeah. But you've been touring around lately, right?
Yeah, I've been living in a van.
That's a real thing.
Yeah.
That's
It's nice though.
It's a nice van, yeah.
It's expensive. I've sold everything to get it.
Or a
But,
caravan sort of thing. Like,
It's no, it's very stealthed out. I made sure it was something with no decals, and it looks like if you park it anywhere that it's just a regular van.
You
But
rape somebody
inside-
in it.
Yeah, well, yeah, obviously. I mean, That's what-
it's a luxury rape van.
it's a luxury rate. But inside it's got shower, bathroom,
For real?
satellite TV, pull-out bed, all this stuff in this, and it's a ProMaster. It just looks like a work van.
For
Wow.
real?
Yeah, it's just built.
Is it like
out with a bunch of-
customized or something?
Yeah, it's customized, just built out with like everything,
Whoa.
microwave, stove, all that stuff.
It's like a little camper almost.
Exactly, yeah.
So
That's
how
awesome.
long you been doing this?
I got it in.
No. How long you been a comedian?
Oh, man, 40 years.
4 years.
40.
40 years.
Yeah, I've been doing
How
it.
old are you?
Well, I've been doing it since I was negative 12. So
I was in the womb just telling jokes.
my dad's balls just
Look at the size of that. Whoa.
just killing.
whoa, it was all dick jokes at that point.
Just crushing.
But the reason I got it, because the Class C is like a regular camper that you see, like the short
Yeah.
version. Those are about half the price that I paid, but you have to go to a campground to use it. This thing, I can park in front of McCarthy's, and it's got AC and everything. No one bothers you. Because if it's a camper, they're like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Yeah,
Obviously
it's huge.
camping.
It's in the way, yeah.
I just can park anywhere.
Is it like the tinted
So you
windows?
can just go in the parking garage here, go to the top, or not bother anybody. and
Not this
camp
parking.
out.
The parking garages are rough because the
Yeah,
height.
the height, right,
yeah,
yeah.
it's like 9.5, 10 feet tall. So there's.
So
a lot
you're
of
like a
risk.
tiny house on wheels.
Exactly.
Sweet.
That's
Yeah, no,
genius.
it's cool. That's fun. It
That's
gets
really
weird.
cool.
There's some weirdness involved.
Well, yeah.
Masturbating has become very, very
Do
strange.
that while driving. It's a lot easier.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You gotta pass the time somehow, right?
Yeah, I keep a lot of Dunkin' Donuts napkins in my glove compartment.
And did you decide to do that when you were like, I'm gonna hit the road for sure? Like,
Yeah. I was like, all right, because it's such a huge commitment. I'm basically dedicating my life to either being, I think I'm going to pay for this for 25 years.
right.
So I'm either going to be 58 years old and I'm going to be like, I got to get a job and I'm going to have a shit job. Or I'll make enough money to support myself doing it.
Doing
Or
comedy, yeah.
I'll die. I assume that I'll die. That's why I really did it. That's why I do most things.
Just
Because I think I'm going to die
I think you're gonna die.
pretty soon.
Yeah, pretty soon.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to die.
How many miles you put on it a year?
I got it with 3,000 miles. There's 28,000 miles on it now, and I got it in October. So,
Oh,
like
shit.
6 months, I put 25,000 miles on it. Yeah.
So, you go just down the East Coast. You going out west or?
No, I went out to, like, as far as Colorado, and then
Okay.
after this Florida
Of course,
run.
you go to Colorado.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't?
Colorado's beautiful, man. It's one of my favorite. Utah is actually my favorite state. That I've been
It's
to.
gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so
Utah?
nice. Oh,
Really?
my
It's
God.
beautiful out
Yeah.
there.
Wow.
It
Yeah.
really is. You just, yeah. It's really nice.
There's nothing out there really, right? It's just
It-
Oh,
Exactly.
the mountains are
Yeah.
incredible.
The
and
mountains
then-
are, yeah.
What's
and
up?
you got these coves that are like surrounded by mountains with like crystal clear water, and it's so nice. It's unbelievable.
wow.
You
And you got
the
Mormons. Mormons are great.
Bryce Canyon,
nice.
Zion Canyon, and
Yeah,
People talk shit about Mormons. They're the
Grand
nicest people
Canyon.
ever.
they're
Like,
super nice.
super nice.
I took one out for coffee the other night.
Really?
Yeah, no, they don't drink coffee.
I was about to say.
Yeah,
Anal?
yeah, they do anal.
Is it a date?
No coffee. You got to read your book, man.
No anal, or anal but no coffee.
They go together well. Actually, no, they don't. Both induce
No.
shitting. So
Yeah, so that's
yeah.
not great. I
But
mean,
I'll-
that's the name of that's in the Book of Mormon somewhere. I'm
I
sure,
still
right?
haven't seen that.
No,
Have you seen it?
no. It's expensive. It was. I remember when it first came out. It was super expensive.
It's got a. I mean,
Like $300 tickets and stuff like that.
everyone says it's really funny. I want to see it at some point.
Yeah. I don't know.
You really fucking sprung this on us, dude.
Yeah, I didn't.
I walked in the door. You're like, all right,
We're doing a
got-
podcast.
You got fucking machines set up.
You did. You're like, what's
What's happening right
I was like, we're doing a podcast. He goes, you already did a podcast? I'm like, no, we're doing one.
Right now, sit down.
I
All
go,
right.
is that okay? You're like, yeah, I guess. Do I have a choice? Not really.
Subject of the day? We don't have one. Let's just talk about anal and Mormons.
Let's go from golfing to anal to Mormon. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, so is your van like? Is it just meant for like one person kind of thing?
It is, but there's been 2 people in it. But I also,
Like, do you tour with anybody, or do you?
I'll do strings of shows with people, but nobody
Right.
ever like comes with me in the van.
No.
It's good to do some comedy.
I'm coming by
Where are we
myself.
gonna go?
in
I'm
that
gonna
van.
take
Coming
my
by
van.
yourself
Yeah.
in that van.
But I've had sex in it multiple times.
Okay.
And that's always awkward because I don't want them to sleep there because it's a confined space and it's awkward. So I
Yeah.
always have to call an Uber to have them. I call
All right,
an
you got to
Uber,
go now.
Which is the funniest thing. To have an Uber come pick you up at my van is like the funniest thing you've ever seen.
It's funny because you're both driving too.
Exactly.
You just throw her into the fucking.
It's my
car.
house, all right?
Yeah.
But
That's
it is
awkward.
funny. You open the door and she steps out. It's like one of those sliding doors.
Oh yeah.
You slide it open. She steps out. The Uber driver's like, "What the fuck is happening right now?"
She's wearing a blanket.
She's like, ah. She looks so disappointed.
I thought he was just kidding about the van joke.
Nope. Nope.
That's crazy.
I had a stripper. I did a show in Tampa 2 weeks ago, and we were hanging out with these strippers. And I don't use the bathroom on my van because I think it's weird to like drive poop and piss like around.
Around
So
the
I just don't use it. I go to like wherever.
All right, Mom and Dad, when your kid says he wants to be a comedian, they're going to hang out with strippers. Just let you know that.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
They're gonna shit in a van.
I probably would have been one if
They
it
shit
wasn't
in
for
the van, right?
comedy. and my body.
Yeah, well, I can see you being a stripper. Yeah, but
For comedy and my
But
diet.
she used my bathroom without my consent, and I don't carry
Oh.
toilet paper because I don't use it.
Oh,
and
no.
she wiped with flour tortillas that I kept in my
In your
my-
bathroom?
Well, the bathroom, it's very confined.
Oh, okay.
So the bathroom, you could literally reach the pantry from the bathroom, and I think she just opened a drawer and saw some flour tortillas, and she just wiped with flour tortillas.
Oh my God.
Which is some stripper shit. I was
That's
real
some
pissed
stripper
off.
shit.
Yeah. She already had a yeast infection,
you
so it was
can't be
fine.
pissed off over that.
Sounds like she didn't even hesitate. She was just
No,
like,
she didn't give a shit.
This makes sense, yeah. I had Taco Bell earlier.
Yeah. She was like, "Oh, soft shell, score."
yeah.
I'm used to hard shell. This is great.
He's the hard shell wipes, yeah. Man, that's gotta be like fun and exciting and kind of scary at the same time, though.
It's
So-
fun, exciting, and depressing as fuck.
And so, okay, so not
Wait.
scary. It was just,
Being on the road for months and months and months is
Yeah.
by yourself, and it's so weird.
yeah.
It's so weird. It's like a weird form of solitary confinement.
So you're literally just living for months at a time. You're
Just
not
on
coming
the road.
back. You're just going from one city to the next.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you getting your gigs before you get there, or
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I try to set them up a couple
Yeah.
couple months beforehand.
Yeah,
So
wow.
I'm good. So I know that I'm okay.
living the dream, huh?
That's what everyone says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That,
I'd try it first, but the golf job is perfect because if something falls through, they can supplement.
I'm
with-
hiring. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah. Oh man, your job is tough,
It is.
especially if you drink at all.
I get up at 3:30 every morning, like
Exactly.
I said. Yeah, and so I gotta be done drinking by 8:00 every night, and I'm done. You know.
I thought you meant you started at 3:30 and you have to
No.
be done by 8.
No, I start
The
drinking
boss
at
says
3:30
you
in
can
the
only
morning.
drink 3.5 hours on the job.
And then you got to deal with assholes. Golfers are just fucked up assholes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, they have unrealistic views of what a golf course. Though, because they'll watch a tournament on TV
Right.
that has filters and everything, and they spent $2 million to make it look good.
Yeah.
And you got a budget of $350,000 at your course, and they go, "Why can't we look like them?"
Exactly. They're
Because
like,
they don't
why
pay
is
enough
the
money,
rough,
you dumbass.
why is the rough tapered like this? You're like,
Oh,
shut
yeah,
up.
I like
You
that
suck
one.
at golf.
I hate your rough. I said, "Why? Because it's rough."
It's too rough.
What's wrong with you people?
Yeah.
Golf is funny. Golf is like the only sport where literally everyone sucks so bad at it. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
They're so bad, everyone.
Yeah.
And even if you suck bad, you're still like top 5% golf.
Here,
You're still like one of the best golfers.
Here, the best question ever asked to me at a golf course was, "Can you make the 18th green putt slower downhill but faster uphill?"
What?
Right, and I said, "No." And he goes, "Why not?" I said, "I can't control gravity. I don't know what to tell you, buddy."
I'm not a
Jesus.
physicist or anything, but yeah.
But that job, I did that too, and I would go drink all night. I'd have to be at the course at like 4:30, and I would drink until like 2, and I'd go park there. I'd sleep for half an hour.
See, that was
superintendent
preparing
would
you
knock
for
on
your
my
life in
door.
a van.
Exactly. Oh, that was even worse. Oh my god.
I've come into work and had to knock on the windows to wake the employees up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're
Sleep-
really?
you're like the good
Oh,
employee.
I'm the superintendent.
You're like you're not operating the
they come
the
in.
fairway mower today.
I go, "Are you drunk or just stoned?" You know, because if you're stoned, you can go straight to work. I don't care. Right? You're drunk, hey.
Let me ask you this: do you have a spot? Because we had a spot where all the people on the grounds crew, they would take all their golf carts and they would just hang out there. Like we had a spot in between 2 holes. There was like this little path through the woods, and we'd all just park there and we'd pretend to be working for like an hour.
That's how I started in the business in the first place. 'Cause
Oh.
I got this job. I was just looking for a job, and everybody met underneath this bridge, and they all smoked weed and went on with to work in the morning. He said, "This is the best job ever." And I watched that.
We're doing a podcast.
So it was, and we all know, I would rather have a crew full of potheads than one alcoholic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you, even though I'm the one alcoholic. I totally agree with you.
Because an alcoholic will lay out 2-3 days a month,
Yeah.
and a pothead will be there every morning. He may be stoned, but he's going to be there
He's
every
having a
morning,
blast.
and he's going to just mow all day long.
There's nothing more fun than because those mowers are huge. People
yeah.
don't even know. Like the rough and the fairway mowers, they're huge. And when you're high, it's like you're riding Falcor. It's so fun.
Riding Falcor.
Looks like we're gonna have a birthday tonight, people.
Ooh.
Oh, that's always weird.
Well,
The birthdays.
Does this go on through the show?
Yeah, well, it goes on until
Oh, okay.
we're like,
Do you edit it? Because it's gonna have a
Yeah.
lot of like breaks, and it's gonna be real shitty.
yeah, we edit it.
Oh, okay, that's good.
because we don't know how to do this.
Okay.
No, it's just live actually.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. There's a lot to think
They
about,
can
man.
hear us out in the fucking showroom actually.
That's the
But
show.
I don't know what's going on right now. It's so strange.
No, it's funny. We've been doing this for a couple months now, and every comic is different on it. Like some comics, like they can only focus for like 10 minutes,
Yeah.
and then they're like, "All right, I gotta go and get ready for my set."
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, and some people will just stay on the whole time. And all
I
of a
would say
sudden-
that's one thing I like that I genuinely could
yeah,
be cutting up a chicken and just go on stage. Like,
Yeah.
it's really whatever.
yeah. I don't. I used to like really have to narrow my mind and like try to focus, and like I wouldn't talk to anybody. But then I realized I felt really like robotic up there when I did that, and really scripted.
Yeah.
But what if I was like around my friends and we were all like hanging out?
I've
before
never
the
been a
show?
fan of literally just going over every joke,
No.
word for word. I don't know. That might be why I'm bad at it, but I don't know. It's
I don't think. I think I know people that can do that and it works for them. But for
Right.
me, I'm more of a conversational type of comic anyway,
Yeah.
so it just doesn't seem natural when I'm up there like perfectly hitting every single
exactly.
joke from one thing to the next. Like all the words are right and everything. No, I got to be a little loose. You know?
I used to rehearse everything.
Yeah.
And I wanted it perfect. And then I did a year and a half of improv and completely changed how I addressed going on stage
Really?
and telling jokes. Because now I don't exactly want to be perfect. Because
It's
there's
weird.
There's humor and funny in the imperfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes it's really good stuff that you can't even ever recreate. It just has to be organic.
And you find yourself more relatable when you're like not so robotic
Well,
up there.
that's the thing that people don't know is the funniest people seem like they're coming up with it off the top of their head, but
Right, exactly.
they really just are good at acting like that.
My favorite, I love when I'm hosting, I love doing the birthdays because I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's
And it's my favorite part of doing the whole thing.
Nice.
I'll try to get out of my set within 5 minutes and go into birthdays, and if that lasts another 10 minutes, I'm happy.
You're in a very elite crew of people then.
Yeah, and Mike's really good at it also.
Yeah.
But
well, I just learned.
Les
I
is
just
that
watched.
way. Les is and Les does those birthdays better than anybody.
Yeah, you
course.
watch him; he's very good at it.
And so
he's
that's
been doing
who
it for
we,
so long. I
we
mean,
came up
yeah,
watching
you can
how to
stay in
do
the
this.
moment.
So
Yeah.
You get weird. Like I was hosting last Friday, and the first show, I just hated them. I hated the audience. I just hated every single one of them.
That's how I feel.
Because they just didn't care about anything. And I made fun of like Bradenton a little too much, but they were like one lady was literally like, "Ah."
Wait, what'd you say?
I was just talking shit about Bradenton. Like
I thought you said rape. I was like,
Oh,
okay,
no,
well,
no,
that's
no.
understandable.
No,
Rape
I was
is
funny.
Bradenton.
I was talking shit
whatever.
about Bradenton. Like it's right, Bradenton. And they were just getting like a little salty about it. And then I started going to birthdays, and I was like, anybody celebrating a birthday anniversary, and I hip replacement. You do some old joke, and the whole audience lights up, and they're all fucking going like, yeah, celebrating that.
Birthdays are great, man. Mike McCarthy's here.
Mike McCarthy,
Yeah.
our headliner is here. What's up, man? Come
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm running a little bit late. My wife and kids are on vacation. They're in no hurry to get me to the club.
We just got a little cayenne pepper in this fucking interview. Baby.
What? What happened?
Yeah.
What did I miss?
No, you're the cayenne pepper.
Oh, there you go, baby. That's exactly
on
right.
you, mother. Yeah, we're here, and we're getting ready to
Yeah,
go.
we're ready.
ready to go
Showtime, baby.
It's almost there.
I'm actually early. Okay, 6:59. Not bad.
Yeah. It's called the Surprise Podcast. He didn't.
Surprise!
he didn't.
When I walked in, he's like, "Hey, sit down." I'm
It's
like, "All
it's
right."
appropriately named because I'm surprised.
He's surprised. You're like, what the fuck are you guys doing in here?
Mike Machado, right?
Yeah, that works.
Chris Machado, Chris.
Chris.
Or you can mix it.
Call me whatever you
You can
want,
call,
dude. I
you
don't
can call me
care.
Chris McCarthy if you want.
Chris McCarthy and Mike Machado.
Chris McCarthy, Mike Machado. He's gonna say it.
Mike
Perfect.
Machado, yeah.
Don't forget my one paragraph introduction of.
What do you want me to say about you?
Yeah, whatever. Make up a story.
Played
of how we
Hamlet in the
met.
7th grade.
This guy's been living in a van
Yeah.
down the river.
There we
Kid,
go. Yeah.
you must get so tired of that every single time because the first time you said it, I didn't say it, but I went, down by the river.
Someone did it last night.
Oh yeah, you were like, yeah, how fucking original.
Sorry, but that's exactly what I said. I was like, do you got any Will Ferrell quotes for us?
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
That lady kept calling. I was security too, but I was like, whatever.
Well, you had the one lady that you wanted us to tear into, but she was like perfectly
Yeah, she
well
never shut
behaved.
the fuck
she was
uphill
a
after you
beautiful
guys
woman.
left her there.
Yeah, she was very nice.
I kept waiting. I was like, come on, baby, say something, say something. There's nothing you want to hear more as a comic than, oh, this person here has been rude to the staff. You're like, oh, I get to be a dick to somebody.
Yes.
And everybody here is going to go like this.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And we were very disappointed because she was super
She
nice. She threw
certainly-
$20 bills at us while we were
She
on
said
stage.
nothing. She said absolutely nothing. She sat there and laughed. I'm like, oh.
She paid my mortgage. Like, she's a sweet lady.
So basically, the staff here is a bunch of whiny bitches.
Basically, yeah. Just make fun of us. Don't even.
Hey, stop it!
What's going on here?
I don't know. Oh, there she is.
Who is she?
Oh man, I don't know who she is.
Yeah, I don't care either. What's your
doesn't
name?
matter.
Doesn't matter.
This is a great visual joke for the podcast.
Yeah.
Yes,
Watching
we're-
TV on mute.
For all the listeners, we're watching TV on mute. And, she's hot, though.
She's very hot.
Yeah, that's what distracted everybody.
There's a hot lady on TV. I'm sorry.
So we're looking good for Thursday. How have you been, my friend? I don't know. We shouldn't really be doing this on the podcast, I guess. But
Yeah, we're doing it.
He'll edit it out.
yeah.
No, I won't.
Surprise.
No, I won't. I'll keep it right now.
Guys, let's have fun, okay?
Hell yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Did you leave your shirts here?
Oh yeah, I leave my
Oh,
shirt.
okay.
My,
Oh, and
Because he
I put-
was like,
I put your pants over there,
okay, I'm hoping, and my boots should be
and their
behind the thing.
boots are behind me.
I hate clothes more than anyone you know.
Yeah.
I really do, man. I
Yeah.
would rather just live with like a pair of like bikini bottoms or something. I fucking
Nice. SpongeBob. Shout out
I
SpongeBob.
hate clothes, dude. Absolutely. So I mean, like I leave everywhere. It's normal here because it's so hot.
It's so hot.
But in Massachusetts, when I show up for shows, they're like going on stage like that. I'm like, no.
Of
But
course
why
not.
would I put all this crap on?
Yeah.
For the 2-hour drive and the 2-hour drive back or whatever.
Yeah, you want to be comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the only one that does that, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a couple people. I'm sure Les comes in, dressed down or whatever, but it's his club. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, exactly.
I drive. I mean, I dress like a psychopath when I'm on long tours.
Yeah.
Like if I drive really far, I wear like shorts and nothing. Or
Yeah.
I've driven 7 hours in just my underwear.
Yeah.
It's comfortable.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
That's the name of the game.
You don't have to stop at all?
No, I don't. I was telling him 6 hours for me now is like
Nothing.
that's like half an hour down the road. Like I don't even think about 6
Really?
hours. Yeah, it's
Well,
nothing.
you got to shut your mind off. I mean, he
Man.
does it all the time, but I'm just doing it. When you drive, you just got to shut your mind off. And nowadays, you know what? It's fucking awesome. Turn on YouTube. You know what I mean? Watch
Get
listen
all
to-
the entertainment in the world.
He's sitting right there. I get a little magnet. You know what I mean? I watch.
I don't think
Joe
you should be
Rogan.
watching.
I'm
You're
not watching porn.
watching
you know John
TV.
Ragland?
Yeah, John Charles.
Oh my God,
Love
John
John
Charles.
Charles, yeah.
Okay, let me tell you.
Uh-oh.
Here he goes. God bless him. He's a big Tom Brady fan. I'm doing a show in Ocala, and we're hanging out after the show. And I think the first night we had got baked up in his car, and then the second, Friday night we got baked up in his car,
Yeah.
and we're sitting there, and he goes, we're talking about driving long distance and stuff, and he goes, you know what I do to keep myself awake? And I go, what? And he goes, I jack off. And I go, what? And he goes, yeah, while I'm driving, I keep a little towel there or whatever and stuff like that. And he goes, oh, hey, man, don't tell anybody. Then
Yeah.
I go, absolutely.
You're
not."
like, first
I go,
podcast.
I go, why would I possibly tell anybody that? The next night, kid, he walks off stage and goes, give it up for your headliner, Mike McCarthy. I go, hey, give it up for John Charles. That guy jacks off when he drives long distance. I couldn't wait to get up.
That's
You don't
great.
tell Mike McCarthy your secrets.
I'll tell you what, though, works.
It does.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You're falling asleep, you're slapping around a little bit, you go, oh, okay.
Well, actually,
Gotta
excuse
watch-
me, guys, but I'm getting a little tired right now. So.
Yeah, you don't want to get into an accident with your dick in your hand. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
dangerous.
no.
It's not
Well,
good.
it keeps you awake 'cause you're looking like, I can't just go to work here. I got to look for the cops. I can't be passing somebody or whatever, but yeah.
Well, the only thing that scares me about that, don't get me wrong, I do it weekly, but they have the people that they monitor speeders via airplane. And one time I was doing that.
Do they really?
Yeah, one time I was doing that, and a green laser went. It like they like laser you.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I thought I was getting abducted by aliens. The laser went across, and I'm sure. Thank God I wasn't speeding, because I would have probably got like a ticket in the mail with me, just like, just looking up, just like, what
Is
the
it
hell is
alien?
that? Oh my God!
Oh, that's funny.
Please
I didn't know they
don't
did
probe me.
that. That's weird.
Yeah, they do. It was freaky.
When the fuck did they start doing that shit?
It says speed monitored by aircraft.
Yeah, I think they do
And
it on
everybody's got a
Alligator
bunch of
Alley.
jokes about it. They do actually
Yeah.
do it, yeah.
What?
Yeah. So
Why are they just getting out of hand?
you
with
got the
this
face
shit?
of a man who's gonna stop jerking off while he
Yeah.
drives.
Yeah. Basically, you ruined that for me. Fuck.
All right, I'm gonna pee. Edit this out.
Spy satellites and shit. That's so crazy. I think about it I think about just like, fuck it, let's just go rush Area 51. You heard about this shit?
I have heard that, but you know what? I mean, like everybody that's, if they're all stoners that are like, let's do it. It's gonna be a fucking 4-minute war. They're like, dude, we're gonna find out what's going on. No, you're all gonna get fucking killed.
You're gonna get shot.
You're all gonna get killed.
I keep hearing people say like they can't stop all of us.
Yes, they can. with no effort whatsoever. Like one guy will press one button, and then I'll go back to what he's doing. You'll all be fucking dead. I mean, really, come on.
Dude, they monitor speeding through fucking aircraft.
You think like a bunch of stoners rolling through the desert and fucking campers is going to intimidate the government? No. Like, hey Frank, no rush. Let me tell you, heads up. There's like 20,000 stoners heading towards you.
Yeah.
You know that button we told you not to touch? Today is the day, my friend. Today is the day.
Fucking Death Star just comes out.
Wow. Okay, that's it. Dust. That's all that's left.
They're dead now, yeah. Yeah, I can't believe I'm watching that. All these people are going there right now. Like, they're actually...
Is it happening now?
Yeah, they're all, like, they're migrating in that direction to try and rush Area 51.
Is there a certain date they're doing that, or?
They don't have that much fucking
No, that's what I mean.
planning.
I read it and I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. You know, if I was younger, I'd be like, yeah, dude. But
I don't even know.
I'm older and cynical. I'm going like, that's just not a good idea.
I don't even think there's anything there.
I don't know about that.
I don't think
Have
there's
you
any
seen the
aliens.
have you seen the thing on Netflix?
Bob Lazar and
the
UFOs.
guy that was on Rogan.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's the one that started this whole fucking thing.
I don't know. It sounds pretty believable, but I'm kind of susceptible to that goofy shit too. So
It does sound believable, but at the same time, I feel like they probably just have like a bunch of like experimental weapons and shit like that for the government. They probably don't like keep the aliens there. Like
that
it's
guy's
like,
believable. That Bob Lazar guy. He's pretty believable.
he is. He's not an idiot.
No.
Like that's what everybody tried to say he was like in the 80s. Like he's a star.
Oh, they swept him right under the rug in the 80s, but now you're talking to him, he's kind of like, listen, I tried telling you motherfuckers what's up.
He's like,
And you were like, no, now leave me alone.
yeah.
Like,
I know.
leave me
Now
alone.
he's like annoyed. He's like, yo, stop coming to my house.
He's like, bro, I told you the truth,
Yeah.
and you were like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And now he's like, and now all of a sudden we get technology, people go, oh, that dude might be right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. I don't blame him for being cynical.
Yeah.
Because that was the one thing for me when you're talking about believable is like he doesn't gain anything from lying.
He paid for his own trip out to LA to be on the Joe Rogan Experience.
Exactly.
He wouldn't even let Joe pay for it.
Yeah.
He's like, listen, I don't want there being any, ulterior motives or anything like that. He's like, nah, I'm just here to tell you what's up. And
Yeah.
it's kind of believable.
Yeah, because he has no motive. That was the biggest thing for me. Like he was talking about stuff that was way over my head.
Yeah,
But I was like, he has no motive to lie. Like,
exactly.
his whole life was destroyed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
His friends couldn't have. You know what I mean? Like they went after like his people in his personal life. The
And
government.
they're fucking with him now still. You know what I mean? They go into his lab and they
Yeah.
look for all kinds of shit and whatever and stuff. I don't know.
There's no. Yeah, he's definitely telling the truth. He found something. I don't
He
know.
found something.
But then there was stuff he wouldn't talk about. Remember?
Yeah.
On the podcast, he's like, "Listen, I don't want to go into like that stuff." And we're like, "Oh shit, he knows more." You know, like weapons and stuff like that. It was,
Well, here's the thing, man. There's got to be something. There's got this.
yeah.
We're just
it's
too big.
much
The universe
shit.
is too big.
Yeah.
My wife thinks I'm fucking crazy. There's only Earth. There's only Earth. I stay out of all that goofy shit. I stay out of politics, religion,
Right.
UFOs. I just go. I don't know, man. Rob Gronkowski retired last year.
Well, I agree with that 100%. I don't have any actual beliefs, but I think the craziest thing in the world would be if there was nothing. If there was nothing after you die, if there's nothing else in the universe, that would be even crazier than the crazy stories people tell.
That's the weird one. Is I used to believe, and I'm still kind of there, that when you die, that's it. It's a fucking dirt nap.
Yeah.
You're out.
As long
Like
as
when
I'm
you're
not
asleep.
conscious of it, that sounds great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
My wife is fucking.
Worst case scenario, though, you die. It's a dirt nap. It's black, but you're like there, and you're just like, oh, and it's just
Nothingness.
infinite nothingness that you're conscious of.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
We shouldn't
I don't-
all
I don't-
smoked weed before this podcast.
I don't think this.
Did we get
hell.
high?
No, we didn't get high.
forgot.
But it makes us sound cool out there in the podcast world.
Do you guys get stoned before shows ever?
Oh, I used to get high before every show.
Really?
Oh yeah, I
Did it
don't
help
really
you?
smoke weed anymore. I mean, I get kids 17, 14.
Yeah.
So once they figured it out, like
So they're smoking all the weed.
yeah, I would say probably like 4 or 5 years ago. Like my son and I were having a great time.
Yeah.
And then he went to bed, and I went downstairs and I smoked up, and then he came back down and he was like, "Hey, what's up?" And I had that look on my face, and I was like, and he knew something was up, and I went, all right. And also, I get a little more anxiety now. I
Yeah.
don't know why, because the weed is so fucking good.
I
Yeah,
don't
it's
smoke weed at all
so
because of
good.
that. I get terrible, like
I
really
used to
bad anxiety. I talk about it in my act, but
Yeah,
it
but
really
it's
freaks me
yeah.
out.
It's because you stopped smoking weed so much.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I
Like,
mean,
your
like,
tolerance
where
has
does it
gone down?
end? So I have to smoke weed all the time.
You gotta
just
smoke
to
weed like
enjoy
every
smoking
day,
weed?
and then
Nah, I'm
eventually
good.
you
I
don't
used
get
to
that
smoke fucking constant. I'd get out in the morning. I'd go to the gym high. I'm serious, dude. I used
Yeah.
to smoke my whole right before I get on stage or whatever. Now, if you said you want to smoke, I'd be like, "Are you crazy?" There's 200 people out there that are gonna be staring at me. Before that, I'd be like, I put the joint out on the stool. I'd be like, "Okay, what's up, people? Let's get to this."
You want some of this pen?
Is that weed?
No, it's nicotine. But I just wanted to see your reaction. You're like, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, I'm about to say. It's
Hey, maybe no,
all
listen,
bullshit.
we're one of the best clubs in the country. If we were at a fucking bowling alley or Chinese restaurant, I'd be like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These 30 people, whatever. But,
Especially a Chinese restaurant.
I went up high for an open mic like twice, and they couldn't even see my eyes.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they could just visibly tell I was high, and like
If you know what you're gonna say,
it took away from the it just took away from my act.
Well, that's the thing. I've done it high before, but I don't do anything pre-written. Like, once I'm high and I'm on stage, I get in that weird zone where I just talk about what I'm seeing and experiencing.
Yeah.
Which isn't funny.
Yeah, exactly.
And
yeah.
nobody enjoys it except me. So it's like,
Well, I used to think like I would see people, I'd be at the airport and someone would go, "Hey man, I saw you at the comedy club," and I'd go, my favorite line was I drinking? And they're like, "Yeah." I go, "You saw a good show." And now I look back and I go, "No,
Yeah.
those shows weren't great."
yeah.
Right.
I thought they were great. Like, you know what I mean? You saw me in Lakeland when I was fucking hammered. I was making, I'm making $100 a show. I'm staying at the hotel, so I'm just going, get on here, and I'll say whatever I want or whatever. And then
Yeah.
I had a couple friends go, you're funnier when you're sober. Not sober, but like, not drunk.
Not drunk,
But I would
right.
go on stage for these shitty gigs. Not really, not professional, but like Lakeland.
Yeah.
For Coconuts, I'd be like, I'm making no money. There's 20 people here. I'd get lit up, and I would think I was hilarious.
That's
my
what
fr-
alcohol does.
Yeah.
You always feel funny.
Yeah. And then my friends afterwards, when they go, "Dude, when you're straight,
Yeah.
your jokes bang, 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 everything flows into everything, whatever. You're not just going,
Yeah.
so what do you guys want to talk about?" But I thought, like in my 20s and 30s, I was like,
Hey, that's
oh,
my joke, dude.
what?
What do you guys want to talk about? You do that?
Do that. I'm sorry.
What do you guys want
That's
to talk
my
about?
material,
do you
dude.
guys
Parallel
wanna talk about?
thinking, whatever.
But that's the worst part about comedy, and it's one of those things. Not the worst part about comedy. My biggest flaw
Yeah.
is sometimes I don't do it anymore as much, but I would go, and you watch a set of yourself, and you go, dude, just don't fucking say anything.
Yeah,
There's
just
no need to make the idiot noise.
yeah.
So
that is some pro advice
so
right there.
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
ready? Just don't say anything.
Don't say shit.
I want to shoot myself watching I go, just be quiet.
Silence is like the
Just
funniest thing in the world.
It is, and you're great at it, Chris. You really are. It's,
Well, that's because I used to say all the time.
dude, it's
Now I just
it's
stopped
fantastic
talking.
to sit there. Like last night, they were all right. They weren't magic, but there was a point in time where I picked up my beer and I went to take a sip, and there was a part of my brain that went, silence. Hurry up, take the sip. Take
Yeah.
the sip. Fucking move on. And I went like to go, no.
Yeah, let it be.
I
Sit
can have,
in it,
hey
baby.
man,
Yeah.
I can have a sip of beer
Yeah,
and look
exactly.
confident doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just go, oop.
It looks weird if you
Okay.
rush through that.
Well,
You know what I mean?
I've seen old videos of me where I grab the beer and I get it right about, and I go, oh, they're not laughing anymore, and I put it down.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I'm like, what's the point, man? Just like
People don't know that if you just do that like 2 seconds longer, they'll laugh harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll just
That
let
was
it go.
one of the things that took me a long time to wait. My wife and a couple of my other friends, they go, let them laugh. And when I first got, I would say maybe 20 years in, my 45 minutes where I was like, this smokes.
Yeah.
This is fucking, and I'm a maniac. Like, you're very low key, but I was like, whoa. I go, I can't get it in. I had 45 minutes and it got to be like 47, 48, and I'd try and get it into 45 minutes.
Right,
And I'd be
yeah.
like, and they'd be cracking up and I'd still be like, bow, 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 bow.
Stepping on
bow.
the laughs.
And people's like, my wife would go, let them finish laughing. I go, no, I got no time for that. I
Yeah.
want them gasping for air.
Right,
I want
right.
them going, oh, like
Stop.
literally putting up their hands like I can't take it. That's what I thought was killing.
Yeah, yeah.
And when I go, oh, you don't have, let them laugh.
Let them
Yeah.
laugh.
It looks more professional. You look more relaxed. I was just and you're exactly right, stepping on the laughs.
It's,
Stepped on the laughs, yeah.
that's why it's a drug. Because when you first start, you get a regular, normal laugh, and you're like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But by the time you've been doing it long enough, if you don't have people gasping for air like you were talking about, you're like, where the fuck, this is a placebo.
Exactly.
This is bullshit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're like, I need anything where someone isn't dying. I'm like, that fucking shit sucked.
Yeah.
Right. But it's not necessarily the truth, though, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just we're fucked up.
We are fucked up.
Yep.
And I mean,
Yeah.
I was telling Chris, I was in Myrtle Beach a couple weeks ago, and the shows were rough.
Yeah.
Rough crowd, tourist crowd, out in the
Oh,
sun all
yeah.
day. They were okay. I mean, I just heard back from the guy that ran the club. He goes, oh, yeah, we love Mike. I thought it was the worst week I've ever had.
Right, right.
But then we did Laugh-In last week, and Thursday was okay. And Friday, first show was all right, second show. But Saturday
Yeah.
were the shows where you just went, wow, and you
Yeah.
go, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's why you do
like
it.
when I could come home and my wife went, how'd the show go? I go, the way it's supposed to fucking go.
Right.
The way it's supposed to go, I smoked.
Right.
You know, but it doesn't happen all the time.
No.
I mean, I went 11 shows.
It does
without
here.
Yeah, it does. Well, these people.
This
This
place
is the
is
best.
amazing.
This is the best.
Where to
club in the
end
country.
This is where to end a road trip.
That's you're exactly right, brother. I'm not the brightest bulb in the Christmas tree, but when I circle this, I go, all right, 31 days on the road. Day 29 is going to be Sunday at McCarthy's, and then I drive 15.
You go home with a nice fat boner to jerk off to on the ride
Yep.
home. Yep.
No doubt.
People have been saying that, like, people get, like, these crowds are just different here. They're just better.
Oh,
They are.
certainly. There's no question.
Yeah.
They're educated. Well, Les has been here for a million years.
He's educated the crowds.
There's no doubt. He's been here for so long in this area. These people that come out,
They're conditioned.
they understand and they get great comedy.
Yeah.
You know, it's one. There's nothing worse than shitty comedy. I mean, I'm trying to up north. There are kids that go. You know, I'm putting my own show together on a Saturday because I can't get any stage time.
Open mic
and I
on a
can't-
Saturday.
And then you have 5 people that fucking suck.
Yeah.
And somebody who's never seen comedy before drops $20
Mm-hmm.
and comes out and sees it and just goes, "I'm never going to that shit again."
Yeah, exactly.
You got to at least have one guy.
I just gave
Or
that
one
my
person.
best sassy black woman. Oh, I'm going on stage.
Oh shit!
Enjoy the podcast.
All right, Chris, knock 'em dead. But yeah, that's the truth. If you have somebody, if you have just people that stink on a Wednesday, on a Thursday, on a
Yeah.
Sunday, whatever, and advertise it as open mic or this or that, but don't say it's a professional show because then people that see it
They'll-
are gonna go, "Oh, why would I do that? Stay home and watch Netflix."
Yeah, and they can fucking go on Facebook and talk shit about it all night
Exactly.
long. Yeah.
Exactly. It's just it really does fucking minimalize comedy.
Yeah.
And it's hard to tell people because they're excited and they want stage time.
Yeah, exactly.
They go, if I put a show together, I get on stage on Saturday night.
Right.
And I'm like, well, you really aren't ready to be
No.
on stage on Saturday night. You can be the first guy, you can be the second guy, but if there's nobody at the end to save the show,
Exactly.
all you need is somebody to save the show. So they walk out and go, well, this guy looked like he was new, or this girl looked like she was trying some stuff up. But there's got to be some person at the end that drops the hammer, and you go, oh, that was great.
Yeah, that's the pressure of the headliner, right? Of the closer.
Yeah, well, listen, you're gonna be in that last spot. You better fucking own it.
Yeah, you
know what
better
I mean?
bring it.
You
Yeah.
better don't bitch about whatever anyone does in front of you, or you know,
Yeah.
some headliners like don't touch this or don't do this or don't do that. Look, man, you want to be the fucking closer, then you got to bring the hammer no matter what happens in front of you, whether it sucks or whether it's awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's
Yeah, that's crazy. I remember somebody told me, like, if you can make this audience laugh, you can make anybody laugh. And I think like back to what your point was, like, they're educated. They're educated here. Like,
Oh, yeah.
They recognize shitty jokes pretty quickly, or like bad
Yeah.
comedy very quickly. So, like, the open mic can be rough here. Like just
I would imagine, yeah.
the audience is like, you know what I mean? Like when
They're
somebody
spoiled,
really
man.
comes in, yeah,
They're spoiled. They don't get shitty comedy here.
yeah, they don't, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They have like a standard that you have to meet.
A
at some
golden
point.
standard. I mean,
Yeah.
really, as far as this state goes, besides the improvs,
Yeah, exactly.
this is the only standalone club that I can think of
Yeah,
that just has great, not only national, but local people. I mean, Les
Yeah.
is nice enough to give people that have been here and been in the business for a long time. You're not going to see somebody on this stage that you've never heard of before and then not great,
yeah, exactly.
you know, with the exception of this week.
Come on, man. I'm about to go on.
I've known him for 32 years. I've got some secrets on him.
Yeah, oh, that's great. It's good to hear. I started off here as a doorman.
Yeah.
You know, and I just like I sent in emails like I really want to do comedy. Like, what's the best way? And they were like, go take our comedy class, go to our open mic, and then I just like saw an opening for security, and I was like,
I'm in.
I got in it, and yeah, I took the class like 3 months in from working here, and I just never looked back. I just kept doing it.
Nice. Well, that's the other thing too. It's the Humor Institute.
Yeah,
Les and Ken take a lot of pride in fostering new talent and really educating people, giving them advice and stuff. That's not a joke. It's a great name.
it is.
But
yeah.
it's not a joke.
No,
it really
it's
is
not.
a Humor Institute.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they do it, and they take it very seriously, and they didn't like try to tell you or try to teach you how to be funny. That's what I learned like the first day. They were like they just taught you structure. They taught you how important it was to have 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Machado.
Let him know.
He going up. But they taught you the importance of having a 5-minute set and like how important it was just when you're beginning to just build that 5 minutes because it's like your intro to anywhere you go. You
No
know.
doubt.
So
Well, that was the one thing I wasn't told that first.
yeah.
I wasn't told to stick with that 5 minutes, and you as being new, you want to continue to do new stuff.
Yeah.
You've got to nail down that. And
Absolutely,
then you can add to it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want your foundation. At some
Well, there's so
point.
many people that go, I've been doing it a year and I got an hour. I'm like, 2 years? Really?
Yeah, right.
Do you really? It's insanity.
And that's what I've noticed with just working with my peers here. I'm almost 2 years in, and everybody's in a rush. They're all like
Shouldn't be.
They're all trying to like be a headliner within 3 to 4 years, and I'm like, how? Why would you? Like you wouldn't be ready for
Enjoy
it.
the process. I mean,
That's
enjoy
what I
the
was
whole,
thinking.
enjoy the whole thing.
It's
Don't
like-
rush to be a headliner because that middle spot is just so fucking sweet.
Yeah, exactly.
There are times in the middle spot, they will come up to you afterwards and tell you they liked you better than the headliner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's because you only had to do 15 to 20 minutes instead of an hour.
I did 3 weeks ago. I was middling, and I went, okay,
Yeah.
all right. It was 20. My wife said, how'd it go? I go, I can do 20 minutes on my head. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
just getting their second drink as soon as you walk on stage.
Yeah.
And then there's no checks.
No.
Because that's rough. That's my least favorite thing about closing
Yeah.
is the checks come out.
The checks
and
come
you
out.
go, especially you got to recognize it and go, hey, the checks come out, do it, and just maybe talk to them back and forth. But it can really take down a room.
It derailed the show completely.
Yeah, I mean, if especially hey, I didn't order this.
Yeah.
Like last night, there was some guy up front. There was a little bit. They were very nice people to the left of the stage, but there was some issue,
Yeah.
and I was just like, really, you've been with me the whole time.
Yeah.
And they're just like, and they're looking at me like, I go, I know. It's not like you're being rude. You're just
Right.
like, hey, I didn't know
Order
this.
this.
And then all of a sudden someone's got to kneel down, especially when it happens up front.
Yeah, it's very
because you're
weird.
like, I've been talking to these people the whole show,
Yeah.
and now someone's got a glowing computer, and the rest of the crowd kind of goes, oh, what's going on over there? And
Yeah.
that's why I love theater shows.
Right.
It's just, I do the Irish Comedy Tour all of March, and then my next week back, when the
Yeah.
checks come out, I go, fuck.
I'm
I
back.
forgot about this. I forgot
Yeah.
that at theaters they don't. You know what I mean? You go buy your drink and you bring it back or
Right.
whatever. But
Yeah.
hey,
What was that like doing that tour? That must have been really fucking fun.
dude, brutal on my liver. Great for my career. It's me and 3 other Irish guys just touring
Right.
all around the country. But the problem is we drink so much. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's
I mean, my wife this year she actually went. You should think about maybe not doing it. And we just had a special come out on
Right.
on Amazon, and the show's going great. But I mean, I come home from that tour this year. I think it was only 6 weeks,
Okay.
but I come home and I'm just like I'm a different person. I'm a normal person when I live at home.
Right. Right.
I take care of myself. I eat right. I like to drink.
Right.
Don't get me wrong.
Of course, yeah.
But this is every fucking day.
Yeah.
Every day, and you're getting everyone's best shot. You know what I mean? You're going out somewhere in Seattle, and some guy's like, "What's up? Shots of J-Mo!"
Yeah.
And it's funny because by this second week, I'm drinking Miller Lite, and people are like, "What's up, dude? What are you drinking that fucking fag beer for?" Or whatever. I go, "You spend 2 weeks with these fucking guys, and you tell me you're banging down Guinness all night long. It just can't be done. Just can't be done." But it's great for my career, but
Not safely. No.
yeah, it's a ton of fun.
Yeah.
It really is a lot of fun. It's a great show. I mean, it's not just comedy. We have a fiddle player and a guitar player.
Oh, there's like a whole theme
Yeah.
going on.
So we walk out. We have a guy walk out from Dublin. Says, "Hey, what's going on?" He tells a couple jokes. Then all of a sudden, this amazing fiddle player comes out dressed like a leprechaun, and then he brings up Derek Richards, who'll be here in a couple weeks.
Okay.
And he does like 30 minutes. Then they play a couple more Irish tunes, drinking songs. Then they bring me out. I do 35 minutes. Then we all go back out on stage, sing one more song, and
Damn.
it's on like a drunken leprechaun after that.
And this is a party, I'm sure. Like, right after.
It's really just. And the funny thing is, we now because we're doing pretty well.
Right.
Where in the beginning it was difficult because they would not let us bring our own. It's in the rider that we get to bring our own booze into these venues.
Right.
And people are like, "No, we sell beer here." I go, we can't pay for our own booze. This would be an exercise in futility. It's like the Blues Brothers, right? Well, we thought because you gave us the first cut. No, you guys owe us $250. So we get to bring our own beer. And we were in Boston, and this lady was like, on St. Patrick's Day, and we came. There's 4 of us.
Yeah.
We came in with 3 cases of booze and a bottle of Jameson, and she's like, "What? You can't do that." And it's funny because I'm already half in the bag, and I go, "Oh yeah, we can. It's in the rider." She's like, "What?" I go, "It's in our contract."
Yeah.
And she goes, "It is not in your contract." I go, "Go look at the contract."
You're like trying to drink as much as you can.
That's exactly. No, I'm holding the beer in my hand, going, "No, trust me, it's in there." She's like, "We do not allow whatever," and she looks and goes, "Son of a bitch, it actually is in here." I go, "I'm telling you, man, we're not bad people."
No, yeah.
But we can't pay $5 a beer.
Yeah, why do they want you to do that anyway?
It's some kind of law where you can't bring in your own beer, and I understand that, but
It's like an on-premise,
Is it
off-premise.
really a law, or that's just something they say so they can sell you a $6 beer?
whatever it is, it ain't working on us.
Well, it would probably break their contract with whatever their vendor is. You know what I mean?
And
So-
they go, "We have all the bases covered." They go, "You can't bring it on stage." I go, "Of course not. We have our own cups, man. This is covered. Just pretend you didn't see this. There'll be no problem. Okay?
Yeah, we know what we're doing here.
We bring plastic cups on stage. We've had incidents before with glass.
Right.
There'll be no broken glass.
Yeah,
There'll be no
yeah.
concussions. We have our own helmets. Trust me. It's
We
fine.
have our own helmets. Man. And is that already out on
It is. You can just pick up any remote. You probably do it on this remote control. Just say Irish Comedy Tour into it in the audio,
Right.
and it comes up.
And it's on,
On Amazon.
It's on Amazon, Voodoo. Yeah, it's Voodoo, right?
Yeah.
Amazon, Voodoo, YouTube, Xfinity, everything but Netflix.
Everything but Netflix.
Everything but Netflix, and yeah,
Fuck Netflix.
that was a pretty cool moment when I waited like 12:01 that day and went Irish Comedy Tour, and then my big fat goofy face came up on the screen. I was like, wow.
That is awesome. Do you guys start it like on St. Patty's Day or something, or?
No, we normally end on Patty's Day.
End on
It
Patty's
depends
Day.
on whether it's
Yeah.
if it's like a Thursday, we'll do Friday, Saturday.
Right.
But yeah, it usually starts the end of February
Okay.
in some fucking ridiculous cold place in the middle of nowhere because our manager hates us. I don't even know what's going on. I don't even know. I don't like most of the shows. I go, Montana, really? Big Irish population in Montana, right?
They'll love us there.
Mississippi, really? How about we do New York, Chicago, and Boston? How about that?
Yeah, let's hit the three.
Yeah,
main things.
it's a running theme throughout the show. I say it every because we need a new manager. Texas, dude, we've done Italian restaurants in Michigan. I'm not even fucking joking. I just shut up and show up where they tell me to go. I'm like, really?
Italian
Really?
restaurants in Michigan sounds horrible.
It was a nightmare. So the microphone stand broke, so I had to hold the microphone to the guitar player. I literally had to stand like an asshole with the mic in my hand while he plays guitar and sings into it.
You were a mic stand.
I was a mic stand.
You were
Yeah.
Mike the mic
Yeah.
stand.
We've seen it all on that friggin' tour. Yeah, we deserve now. We're like, when we show up, it's a little weird because people go, "Yes, Mr. McCarthy, how would you like your steak?" I'm like, "How about you just boil some meat and throw some cabbage on top of it, and we'll be fine." How does that sound? But yeah, it's nice. It's been the best year so far. No doubt.
That's awesome. Man, that's exciting.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Like I said, the only drawback is my wife. Like she's really like, you know, because I come back a different person.
You come back.
I'm a normal human,
Yeah.
and then I hang out with 3 immature degenerates for 6 weeks. And I come back and she's like, "Who are you?" You know what I mean? I'm like, "Boing," you know, like Mo Larry. Oh, and on this tour, if you fall asleep, like, you'll get dicks drawn on your head.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
they've broken into my hotel room, stolen my shit. But one of the best things was we broke into one of the other guys' thing. We took every fucking stitch of furniture out while he was sleeping. We fucking pulled out the covers. He woke up on a bed with nothing in the room.
The AC, did you turn the AC all the way down?
Oh no, yeah.
Oh,
When the
that
AC
would've
was
been
already
good.
on, kid. He's fucking freezing. And he must have woke up and went, "The fuck?" Dude, Chris is slaughtering outside.
Yeah.
He really is.
He's funny, man.
Oh, I love him. I love him.
He,
Boston boy too.
First time I met him was at the World Series of Comedy last year,
Yeah.
and he was doing his thing, and I think he was in like the semifinals, I think, with like the top 6, right? So you only get like 11 minutes.
Yeah.
He does that goat story, right?
Yeah.
And he's going, meh, and then they clap him off. He went over his time a little bit, so they started clapping him off stage, and the whole audience was like, "Goat, goat, goat,
Nice.
goat," and they wanted him to come back out and tell it again. And like literally, the fucking host was like, "Listen, guys, if you want to see him again, vote for him and come back next round because I'm
Yeah.
sure he's gonna make it." You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
oh my god, he's crazy.
All right. Speaking of which, I gotta put some clothes on.
All right. Yeah, we'll wrap this baby up then. Thanks so much for doing
Oh, my
the
pleasure.
surprise
Surprise.
podcast.
Walk in the green room, surprise.
You handle like a champ though. You didn't even do anything.
What are you? I've seen it all.
You've seen it. All right. Well, thanks, Mike McCarthy, and check out your on. You said everything but Netflix. Basically.
Everything on Netflix. Talking to your remote control. Just say Irish Comedy Tour,
Irish Comedy Tour.
Hulu, all that fucking whoopee shit.
All right, man. We'll look for it.
All right. Thanks, bro.
Thanks, man. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Conversation Podcast. Hey, go to our website at McCarthy'sComedy.com for all of our upcoming events, shows, and special events. We got a lot of good comedians coming up that you don't want to miss. Also, follow Mike McCarthy at MikeMcCarthyComedy.com and follow him on Twitter at The Comedy Barbarian. Also, check out the Irish Comedy Tour. Like you heard in the podcast, it's available on everything but Netflix. I actually checked it out myself. I could not stop laughing. It's a really, really fun, almost documentary, if you will. And it's got a lot of comedy in it. It follows these guys around, and I had a lot of fun watching it, man. Also, check out Cris Machado. He doesn't have any social media. He's a mystery man. But he does have a weird van that he likes to travel around in, and just look out for that guy. He's gonna be a big name one of these days. He's so funny, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening, as always.